I am treating my kitchen like a diner this summer, where these are today's specials, like it or don't. If you don't, eat something else, you're on your own. But these are things that are either prepared, I can help you with, or you can do yourself. And that is my summertime approach for my 3 kids. My name is Erica Lucas, and I'm gonna talk about food and summertime and homemaking in this video today. So, banana bread, already made on the counter, heated up in the microwave for 15 seconds. Bagels, already on the counter. Either I made them or I bought them. Eggs and toast. Everybody knows how to make scrambled eggs. My 8-year-old needs a little help with that, and that's okay. Everybody knows how to make their own smoothies. Lunch, pork and beans. 2/3 of my kids can make their own, or I can help. Same with the quesadillas. There's bagged salad in here, or I've already bought the ingredients from farmer's market, and you can just build it yourself, or whatever leftovers are in here, you could just heat it up in a pan. I can help with any of that, happy to help. And then here's dinner. I'm making meatloaf. I'm also gonna make freezer batches of meatloaf for my dad. I'll take you along with me on that. But summertime food, let's talk about it. So I have pre-made salads in here. We just finished 2 different kinds of shrimp salad and a chickpea salad. So what we have left is a pasta salad. There's just leftover beef here. And then I always have fruit salad. I always have fruit salad in here for the kids. So stuff that I've just prepared and it's served cold so that I don't have to heat up the kitchen every day using the stove or the microwave in the summertime is huge to deal with that in the summer. But we already went through 2 different kinds of shrimp salads that were easy to make, and I didn't have to cook because I just bought pre-cooked shrimp. And then the chickpea salad also didn't need to cook anything because it was all just assemble and put it into the fridge. So I've got go-to stuff in here, some go-to deli meat, yogurts, hummus, fruit, more yogurt. We go through a lot of yogurt. And I just need to do that this summer because my kids' schedules are just nothing is at the same time. So I needed ready to go stuff already in the fridge that everybody can make their snack boxes, their lunch boxes for the road, for practices, for sports, for camps. I needed to be able to make it easy on myself and on them to be able to feed themselves without me and not heat up the oven so much. I keep this running list on the fridge of things that are front and center that I can make sure don't go bad. And by highlighting them, people eat them in my house and then they're not getting moldy. The bread's not getting moldy. I am also using dinner meals that I can make in advance because it is a rare thing that all 5 of us are here at the same time for dinner right now. So I need things I can make in advance that someone can heat and eat on their way to practice, when they get home from practice, or if we're all here together. There's 2 days a week right now where we're all home together, and those are my baking days. I make homemade bread. I cook meals that take a little bit longer. Like I just yesterday made a velvety bean stew out of my vegan cookbook. So delicious. But I made enough that I froze it so that later on the busier days, we could just heat and eat that. I don't need to spend the 2 hours it takes to make it. But the days that we're home, I love making those from scratch recipes and then freezing them for later. So in this video, I'm gonna start my dinner. So on that note, I'm making meatloaf. I'm making it in advance today because we have things going on tonight. So I wanted to make packaged TV dinner style meatloaf for everybody and then freeze a bunch for my dad. I'll show you my food storage cabinet that I have been rotating everything in there. It looks like it's got a lot of things in there, but everything rotates. The kids have these blue snack boxes they take everywhere. They might use 2 or 3 of those a day, and I have 3 kids. Chat about some of my favorite cookbooks for summer, some of my favorite recipes out of there I could share with you, and that'll be our summertime food video, maybe 1. Let me know in the comments if you want more. All right, I'm gonna get started with dinner. For my freezer meal meatloaf, I've got ketchup, dairy-free milk, salt, pepper, some Italian seasoning, mixed garlic, breadcrumbs, and I'm tripling the recipe. So I have 3 packages of ground beef. In the spring, we went in with 4 other families to purchase and process a cow locally sourced in Maryland from a regenerative farmer. That was one of my food goals, was to localize as much meat and produce as I possibly can. And so I was able to do that by going in with other families. And so we have this freezer full of ground beef now and steaks that we're working our way through. We also need eggs for this recipe. I make a sheet pan meatloaf in the oven at 425, about 25 minutes, and then an extra 15 minutes once you put the coating on the top of the meatloaf. Sometimes I put in potatoes to roast, green beans, asparagus, carrots around the meatloaf and just make a sheet pan dinner when I have that. And I know we're gonna eat it, but I'm making this in advance for my dad and my family to have over the summer so they can just actually pop it in the microwave on those nights when they need either a second dinner because they're athletes, or we just need something easy and fast, or somebody just doesn't want whatever I cooked for dinner that night, then they could just grab a freezer meatloaf. I crack my eggs first in the bowl for any time a recipe that calls for eggs, so I can dig the shells out if I need to. Shell attracts the shell. You can use a shell to get shell pieces out. So I always do that step first. Otherwise, I break the eggs in a separate bowl to make sure I don't have any shells before I pour it into the mixture, if I just didn't start with the eggs. The Chobani Extra Creamy Milk performs pretty close to regular milk from a baking and cooking perspective because of the fat content is very similar. There's a lot of dairy-free milks that are thinner that you would need to either compensate with extra or use a dairy-free butter or oil to add the necessary fat for baking in the oven.
Yes, ma'am. It's out here on the couch.
This used to be our pantry, and now it is for food storage, lunch bins, and then I still have the oils and vinegars here. We use them a lot, so we just left them here in the Lazy Susan. When my husband's finished building out the pantry, I'll probably move those in. But I've got my cookbooks, freezer storage. These are all like lunch boxes and snack boxes for my kids. With sports, they have pre-practice and post-practice and during practice snacks because practices are several hours. Soup, travel soups and freezer soups, and just miscellaneous jar storage. And so I'm going to use these for the meatloaf. I have some bags started of peas and corn that I'm going to use up and put as a veggie in one side. I made mashed potatoes to go in this one, and then I'll put the meatloaf here and let everything cool down before I freeze it. I don't know how many it's going to make. I've got 10 set up to make. After 20 minutes, I brush them. Actually, I'm going to scoop on, then brush with the ketchup mixture and put it back in for another 20 minutes. And I made instant mashed today, but I needed a double batch. This 8 servings filled 5, so I'm making another 8. I'm just doing instant mash today. Okay. Yeah, that looks great. So I have these 4 here. There were 5, but my oldest son already grabbed one and is eating it now. And then I have these 5, which are double portions of the meatloaf for my dad. So I will freeze these here, and the next trip up to PA, or when he comes down, then I will just give him those. He can go straight from his freezer to his microwave to eat TV dinner. Homemade TV dinner. Ten homemade TV dinners. I have these containers from Amazon. I'll leave a link for you below. You have to kind of go around twice to pinch it closed to be airtight. That freezer right there is from my mom and dad. My dad just doesn't use it anymore. I'm gonna have to put you down right here to open this door. So here's what's left of our cow. That's what's left of our quarter cow. We got a quarter cow of the cow. And then another summertime favorite are these popsicles. I got this mold from Amazon. I have 2 molds. This one is the preferred one because you can put in the wooden or reusable popsicle sticks. I use the wooden ones because honestly, like chasing down the plastic ones around my house in the backyard just wasn't fun. So I switched to wooden. And we just make our own popsicles. So my kids just made that one. It has Greek yogurt, milk, maybe like 4 cups of strawberries, 1/4 cup of honey, and so they made strawberry creamsicle popsicles for themselves. And then the lid is really nice on that popsicle mold because it actually keeps the popsicle sticks in place while it freezes. They made them last night. They've already eaten 4. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in here. I ended up with 6 for freezer. All of them might go to my dad. We'll see, to be determined. I'm gonna clean up my meatloaf mess and sit down and take a rest. Thanks for being here with me today. And here's another video for you to watch next. I hope you're doing well.